Well, hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to our 36th annual Japanese New Year's bell ringing. My name is Deb Clearwaters. I'm the Director of Education and Interpretation at the Asian Art Museum. And the music you were hearing were two Japanese bands, the 5, 6, 7, 8s, which you may remember from Kill Bill, and the and Shonen Knife. So hope you enjoyed a little bit of garage rock and roll from the 60s, just to get us started and warmed up. We like to reflect at the beginning of each of our programs on the land we inhabit. And I want to acknowledge that the Asian Art Museum sits on the San Francisco Peninsula and is located within the unceded territories of the Ohlone peoples, the Ramaytush and the coastal Miwok. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, and learn on their traditional homeland. So this will be the third time the bell ringing is taking place outside of the museum. The first time was in the midst of our move to the Civic Center. Some of you may have been there. We had the bell set up in the main public library next door to the Asian Art Museum, which used to be the public library. And then this year and last year have both been virtual. And just really appreciate all of you for joining us here today, both in our Zoom webinar as well as streaming live to YouTube. Welcome from all over. It looks like we have folks from all over the US, and hopefully we'll have some international guests as well. So let us know where you are. And we do want to ask you if you've participated in a bell ringing at the Asian Art Museum before. So we have a little poll that I'm going to launch right now. This is just for our Zoom audience to respond to. But those of you watching on YouTube could just let us know, is this your first time? Have you been to like 2 to 5? Have you been involved in 6 to 10? 11 to 20, or more than 20, but less than 36, and all 36? I'd love to see if there's anybody who's actually participated in every one for the past 36. My gosh, there are a couple people who are more than 20. So I'll leave that up for just another minute. And I'm just really grateful to Gengo Akiba and Yoshie Akiba for being so generous with us as always. I think it's been 15 years. We were just debating that. That's why we were late. We were trying to figure out how many years they've been presiding over the bell ringing, and it's been at least 15 years. So we're going to check our records and let you know for sure next year. But they've been so generous with us. And Eri Takahashi, also the executive director of the Tenpyozan Foundation, a nonprofit supporting the building of a Zen practice center in Lake County, California. So the three of them are here live with us on Zoom, and but we are going to have some video recorded content. I also want to thank a few other folks before we invite them to the conversation. I want to thank my colleagues, and actually let me end the poll and show it to you all so you can see. So quite a few, more than half, are here for the first time today, and then a few have participated more than once. So I really appreciate you for joining us for the very first time. Hopefully next time we'll be in person and you'll actually get to ring the temple bell that's in the collection of the Asian Art Museum. So let me remove the poll. And I just want to thank my colleagues, Allison Wyckoff, who's here with me, and Triana Patel. They created very engaging take-home activity packet around the topic of Japanese New Year. And Allison will share that in the chat. And I think we'll also have that in the comments on YouTube. There are these virtual packets that you can do at home. And I hope some of you were able to join the storytelling this morning, and that video for the Japanese New Year tales will also be available on our YouTube channel coming soon. And there's some of those stories from prior years in that activity packet. Thank you to John O'Shea, who's live here, helped me with the music and all of the AV technology, and Elisa Wong, who's managing our YouTube feed today. And our programs are supported by like virtually every department at the museum, from creative services, marketing, finance, guest experience, development, curatorial, IT, and the director's office, of course, and the store. Virtually every team at the museum played an important role. So thank you to my colleagues. And I also want to thank you, our members, for your support of the museum. And I know you've been asked to give a lot this year from the nonprofits that you support. And you have one day left to make your last minute year-end donations. And if you have funds that you'd like to donate to the Asian Art Museum, we'd be really grateful to have your support. And then I also want to finally thank the donors of this program. So our cultural celebrations are made possible by the Bank of America, and support for the Asian Art Museum's Japanese bell ringing ceremony is provided by the Henry and Tomoye Takahashi Charitable Foundation, and additional support is from AARP. So we have a special greeting from the Consul General of Japan here in San Francisco, the Honorable Hiroshi Kawamura. And John, if you could roll that video greeting, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hiroshi Kawamura, Consul General of Japan in San Francisco. I am glad to join you today for the virtual 36th Annual Japanese Bell Ringing Ceremony this New Year's Eve. Please allow me to express my great appreciation for the Asian Art Museum of San Francisco and Director Jay Siu for hosting today's program. I would also like to congratulate them on a momentous year, which saw the opening of their new wing and the tremendously popular Team Lab Continuity exhibit. The museum has continued to successfully manage its operations and programs, like today's, to safely educate its audiences in consideration of the new normal we all face. Thank you as well to Reverend Gengo Akiba, Ms. Yoshie Akiba, and Ms. Eri Takahashi for leading today's ceremony and sharing the Japanese New Year's traditions with us. In Japan, the time before the New Year is when we often look back and reflect on the past year. Although 2021 was difficult and trying for us all, it was not without its brighter points. Widespread vaccination efforts have led both Japan and the Bay Area to become among some of the higher vaccinated regions in the world, allowing reopening and more opportunities to enjoy time with our friends and families. For 2022, our collective focus should continue to be on managing the COVID-19 crisis. Whatever challenges we may face in the coming months, the Consul General of Japan in San Francisco will continue to support public-private cooperation, focusing on issues common to both Japan and the United States, including climate change, disaster prevention and mitigation, as well as addressing challenges associated with aging societies. On a lighter note, we look forward to planning a variety of in-person events celebrating Japanese culture and the Japan-California relationship after the COVID-19 pandemic has subsided. Today, I hope that we may all enjoy the Japanese year-end and New Year traditions, bidding farewell to 2021 in the Japanese fashion, and welcoming 2022 with open arms. Thank you again to Dr. Jay Siu and the Asian Art Museum for hosting this ceremony. And I look forward to next year's exhibits and programs. I wish everyone a safe and happy new year. 良いお年をお迎えください。Thank you.
Thank you so
morning.
much, Consul General of Japan, Kawamura, and to all of the consulate staff for your support and collaboration these many, many years. Now I'd like to invite the Barbara Bass Baker, Director and CEO of the Asian Art Museum, Jay Shu, to offer his greeting. Jay.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you, Deb, for the introduction. Consul General Kawamura is new to San Francisco. I'd like to take this time to welcome him to our dynamic city and thank him for his gracious remarks. I'm grateful to his staff for helping with the recording and give thanks to the team who helped facilitate that. Although Consul General Kawamura can't join us live, his presence is felt through his kind words and the message of hope for the new year. This is the second year the Asian Museum has offered its annual bell ringing ceremony virtually. Although I know we would all like to celebrate in person. With COVID infections on the rise, we are safer in the virtual world and will no doubt enjoy this informative and peaceful program from the comfort of our homes or other personal spaces. Being online allows us to reach more people from across the country and around the world, and I welcome you all. Asian for all. 2021 has been a difficult and trying year, and I'm humbled to be a part of the Asian Museum's 36th annual bell ringing ceremony, which over the years has provided solace, hope, and reflection for so many in our Bay Area communities and beyond. Thankfully, through our ongoing partnership with Oakland's Kojin-an Temple and the generosity of Gengo and Yoshie Akiba and Eri Takahashi, we may continue sharing this experience with our communities, with all of you. Although the pandemic continues, with the vaccine widely available and the new safety measures, the Asian Art Museum is open to the public. We've been so since March. If you are in the Bay Area, I encourage you to visit the museum to see the wonderful exhibitions on view, such as the totally immersive and interactive wonderful experience of the Team Lab. Behind me on my virtual screen is a small part of the Team Lab experience that's all age appropriate, but particularly for kids and families together and friends together. And also the exhibitions include the newly opened exhibition featuring exquisite textiles of Southeast Asian. The exhibition is titled Weaving Stories. And also the exhibition including the call to action of the exhibition titled After Hope. You will be inspired by innovation, artistry, and the bold activism. Please come see us. Thank you all for being a part of this ceremony. Let us all say goodbye to the past and welcome the new year of 2022, a new year with the hope and the optimism it brings. Thank you very much. Once again, Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Jay. So let me say a few words about what to expect in the program today. We have both live conversation with combined with a recording of the bell ringing we did last year at Kojin-an. And after a short dance, performance, and conversation with the Akibas over Zoom, we'll play a video of the ceremony from last year. And in it, you will see different bells being rung, one at Kojin-an in Oakland, and in the final rings, you'll see the large bell outside the Tenpyozan Buddha Hall in Lake County. The ceremony includes a blessing, chanting of the Heart Sutra, and if you want to follow along, Allison will share in the chat a link to the Heart Sutra text so that you can follow along and try to join the chant if you like. And following the ceremony, we'll go right into the 108 rings of the bell. And at this point, you're welcome to continue watching or leave it playing while you go about your day. You might be doing your own New Year's Eve preparations. So just stay as long as you like, and the program will be recorded so you can watch it later. And now I'd like to ask Yoshie, Gengo Akiba, and Eri-san to come on screen. And there were some comments about the dance, so people are curious about this. So let's talk a little bit about who you are, and then maybe that it will start to make a little bit more sense. So Reverend Akiba, who's seated at the far right, is a Zen priest here in the Bay Area in Oakland, and he received much of his training at Eiheiji, which is a Soto Zen temple in Japan. And he served for many years, from 97 to 2010. And then again, he was reappointed as the Sokan, the bishop of Sotoshu in North America. He also has served as the abbot of Zenshuji Temple in Los Angeles. And his wife and partner, Yoshie Akiba, seated at center, is probably known to you, or maybe you've heard of Yoshie's Jazz Club in San Francisco, well, Oakland and San Francisco, and now only in Oakland. She has had a restaurant starting in Berkeley, right, Yoshie, back in the, when you were just a student. And Yoshie is trained as a improvisational contemporary dancer. And also you have training in dance therapy, I believe. And so this couple is truly international. They are embracing culture in a very interesting way. So that is a little bit of background about them. And then Eri is the executive director of Tenpyozan, a international Soto Zen practice center being built 3 hours north of San Francisco. So welcome. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, so I know you've been busy preparing for New Year's. This is an important celebration in Japanese culture, but this year has been particularly hard for your community. I want to acknowledge the recent passing of your friend, Mr. Hiro, who was central to much of your life there at Kojin-an. Could you tell us a little bit about Mr. Hiro, and then could you also talk a little bit about your New Year's preparations and how you're managing and coping without him there? And I don't know, Eri, do you want the slides to be shown, or do you want to talk for a little bit before we bring up the slides?
Maybe we can just starting showing the slides, and then we can go on to the talk later.
Great.
Let me do it. So hello everybody. So we are joining this ceremony from a Kojin-an. It's really, every year it's really our pleasure to get together with all of you and have this New Year's Eve ritual with you all. So before we talk about a Japanese New Year, let me explain what's this bell ringing ceremony is about. So the bell ringing is a Japanese ritual that we celebrate on every New Year's Eve. So at the night of December 31st, temples all over the local towns in Japan ring bells for 108 times. And then local people from the local community come to the temple to join ringing the bell. But why it's 108 times? Well, the reason is that so with Buddhism, it is said that humankind have 108 kinds of bonno. Bonno.
That many?
Yeah, unfortunately we do. So bonno in English word is something like desires or attachment that humans have. And every 108 bonno has a name to it, such as, greed, anger, or ignorance. But bonno is also something that's more like a passion that keeps us alive and then keeps us do things.
Yeah, it's so true.
But excessive bonno is bad for you. So therefore, at the New Year's Eve, we ring a bell 100 times to clean up your mind and letting go of 108 bundles one by one with letting up the bell to welcome the fresh new year. So that is the meaning of the bell ringing on the New Year's Eve. So can you move on to the next slide? So, and then actually, so New Year's is a very big holiday in Japanese rituals. It is kind of like a Christmas for American people. You know, we decorate the house with some seasonal, Christmas things, and also all the family and friends go back to the local towns and get together and share the meal for the New Year's. And we also do a lot of cleaning. It's like a spring cleaning. It happens actually end of December in Japan to just get rid of all the dirtiness that you accumulate over the years. Yeah. Yeah, so that's so we decorate the house with shochukubai, that's a pine and plum and bamboos. That's supposed to be the really three plants. That's really auspicious plants. And then also, can you move to the next slide? It's just like turkeys or, whatever you have for Christmas or Hanukkah or for your own traditions. We do have special meals that's specifically prepared for the New Year's every year. And you have joined this streaming last year. You may recognize these slides that we showed last year. And this guy, the chef on the left, is the Hiro-san, who was the kind of resident chef for Kojin-an for many years. And he actually, 50 years ago, Hiro-san and Yoshie's, one more Japanese partner, started Yoshie's at the north side of the UC Berkeley. So he has been the founder chef for Yoshie's for many years. And then after he retired, he became a resident chef for Kojin-an. And every time we had some kind of events, he prepared wonderful meals for us.
Also, his first Yoshie's, his original cook is still extended to even present Yoshie's. Yeah.
So last year also we showed this slides, and actually we told Hiro-san like, hey, your photo was featured on the show. You were the start of the show, and we are all laughing about it on the New Year's Day, and had a wonderful meal. And then this year, it was a day before Thanksgiving. Actually, he passed away. It was rather a sudden event for us, and then, but he.
Can I talk about Hiro?
We can talk about it probably after the presentation.
Okay. Yeah.
So he passed away, and then so we had otsuya, that is the morning dinner for him, like at the day after Thanksgiving. And then after the Thanksgiving break, I told some of my American friends that, that this happened, and then Thanksgiving turned out to be, more like a funeral days. And then actually, most of them actually say that, oh, you know what, actually that happened to me. Somebody passed away, like before thanking the family, thanks or relative Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving dinner, turned out to be gathering to remember the loved one. And then it really made me think that the meaning of the rituals that we all have.
What?
Rituals that we all have. So can you move on to the next slide? So this is the famous Japanese calligraphy phrase that's called Ichigo Ichie. It means that one time, literally translated, so one time, one meeting. And then,
It's written by Gengo.
So this calligraphy is actually written by Akiba. So that was that. So that means that, we all have, in every culture, we have rituals, Hanukkah, Christmas, or New Year's or things. And then at Kojin-an, we do celebrate seasonal events a lot, such as New Year's in January, Hinamatsuri, like Girls Festival in March, Cherry Blossom in April, Tanabata in July, or every time we had some kind of event, Hiro-san always cooked wonderful meal for us, and he was just simply smiling, looking us enjoy the meal, but he was always there with us. And this one Ichigo Ichie means that things you may have those rituals every year, but one particular meeting only happens once in a lifetime. You may see those people come and people go. Some we welcome new lives, but the one particular event only happens once in a lifetime. So therefore, we should cherish the moment.
This is used for tea ceremony.
So that's the actual spirit of the tea ceremony. We should cherish that one particular meaning, celebrating with lots of seasonal decorations and food and family and friends, and then just treasure that moment every year.
Ichigo Ichie is really created in Japanese tea ceremony. And it's a very important concept for.
So with the spirit of Ichigo Ichie, we are happy that we actually as Deborah mentioned, that it has been more than 15 years for us to have this media building ceremony with Asian Art Museum, and everybody who participates to it. And once again, it's really a pleasure to have this with everybody every year. And then, have this ritual every year means a lot to us. So let's move on to the next slide. So with that in mind, we really hope that you have a wonderful tour in the year in 2020. Enjoy all the moments with your family and friends, and see you all again in the next years.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. There was a question, the second slide, I don't know if you can go back to that. Somebody asked what was written on the scroll in the tokonoma where you had the Shochikubai. Do you remember? It was
the
calligraphy there. Yeah. What is written there?
Oh, this is
that's Juzan.
Happy Mountain. It's a Juzan, auspicious mountain. It's written by Ikko Roshi, who is one of Zen master at Eiheiji, and also Gengo Akiba's master. It's he is one of the best calligrapher, Zen calligrapher, known among Eiheiji, also Japan. And this is very, Gengo-san is very lucky because this master really favored Gengo-san. So he wrote this one particularly for Gengo-san. And it's very rare. And Gengo-san really appreciated, and he matted scroll. And we decorated in the New Year's.
So this
is really Osho-san is really, do you need to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
いや、お正月にね、松竹梅って。
So, New Year's, we use 松竹梅, pine, and bamboo, and plum.
竹はこうしなやかにね。
So, bamboo is people to be flexible, soft.
で、松はいつも緑で。
And pine is represent, it's always fresh and lasted forever, and green, very fresh.
で、梅は冬の寒い時にも花をパッと咲かせる。
Plum is even really cold winter time, the flower is still able to blossom in such a cold winter.
お正月にね、そういう人生を願って飾るんで。
For New Year's, we wished all these three elements to really make life rich and nice.
先ほどのね、一期一会って言葉あったけれども、一 一回、この世に現れるのは一回だけ。そして、この世にのことをこうやってみんなに会うのも一回だけ。そういう意味も。
So, 一期一会 has also another meaning. We are born only once, and we go through life just only once. And it's a very precious time, so you have to really use it very wisely.
何かに出会うのもみんなその時それも一回だけ。
And we meet people and only once.
だから一回の命をね、精一杯この世にある時生き抜いて生きなさいというそういう。
You're given your life. So in the lifetime, you use your life force really meaningfully as much as possible and be satisfied.
だから除夜の鐘というのはね、年に一回そういう鐘を聞いて、ね、お釈迦様の声と言われる。それを聞いて、新しい年を元気に生きていこうという。
So, 除夜の鐘 it's a voice of Buddha. It's
それを聞いて。
And listen to the voice of Buddha and go through year.
新しい年を元気よく生きていこうという。
New year and be cheerfully and very mindfully, strongly. You go through 1 year, New year.
皆さんも今年も良いお年を迎えてください。
Please,
過ごしてください。
Everybody have a wonderful new year for you to really enjoy your life.
はい、以上。
Wonderful. It's so wonderful to have your blessings. And there was another question about what was on the altar. Was there salt there as well? Was there salt in that?
Oh, yes. On
the back? It's an incense holder on the middle.
Was that an incense holder in the picture as well?
Which one are you talking about?
This
is
on
the
the right.
incense. This is
Incense
holder.
incense holder.
That's
And
mochi in the middle, and then
it's a mochi and incense burner, and this is kyosaku. When people meditate, and sometimes they go sleepy. So there's a person who charge of it. Go walk around, and if somebody is sleeping, they just in the back just bang.
So the thing in the black container, that's an incense burner, correct?
Yes.
So there's a bit of ash and a little bit of charcoal and a piece of incense. Is that correct?
And also this right side, this is sake.
On the right side is sake in the bucket, right? In a kind of bucket shape. In the center in the black is the incense burner.
Yes.
And then behind that is a raised platform with 2 mochi cakes.
Yes.
And on top of that is a persimmon, I think, right?
Also, tangerine.
Tangerine. Sorry. Tangerine. And then the stick coming up is used to whack the back of the meditator to wake them up when they're getting sleepy. Is there something written on that?
What did it say? これなんて書いてある？
それ、なんて書いてあるのかな、見えないな。
普通なんて書いてある？
生じゃくて。目を覚ませ。
Oh, wake up.
Wake up. Wake up. Very direct. And thank you for explaining all that. There's a lot of symbolism and people are very curious about that. So thank you so much. Sorry to make you go back again. Is there anything else you want to say before we?
いや、もうね、一期一会です。
So 一期一会、one time, only once.
一回の命を持ってこの世に現れたっていう。
You are born with your one life.
Yeah.
こうやって会うのは一回だけ。
And you meet only once.
盆章を聞いてね。
And listen to 盆章。
で、楽しい人生を歩んでください。
So please have a happy life.
Thank you. Yeah, Ichigo Ichie is a really wonderful concept that is hard to hold on to, when you're going about your daily life, but it's wonderful to be reminded of it today of all days when we're closing out a really tough year for a lot of people. And hoping that 2022 is going to bring ease to so many people who could use some, and living every day as it's so precious, as we know.
Yes, Ichigo Ichie also come from tea ceremony. It's very, it's very important phrase, and we cherish it.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to. Yoshie also is a tea master and teaches many people the way of tea in your practice center. There's so many activities that happen at Kojin-an.
Yes.
So thank you for creating that community.
Thank you.
Well, I really want to say how thankful we are for, again, you're hosting our program, and there's a lot of wonderful speaking that happens in the ceremony that is all open captioned. So, Gengo-san, Osho-san speaks during the ceremony of many of the same lessons that he's just imparted. So I hope you have time to watch the video and read the English translation of what he's saying in both the chanting as well as just his kind of sort of a sermon that he gives as part of the ceremony. So I know we had other questions I wasn't able to get to, but I think in the interest of time, we should probably proceed with the ceremony. Does that sound good to you all? Yeah. Thank you so much to our friends at Kojin-an. We really appreciate everything you're doing, especially at this time when you're feeling really sad. And we'll be thinking of Hiro-san as well.
We miss Hiro-san. He was such a wonderful human being, and everybody's missing. At Yoshie's, many people are really sad because he was the founder of Yoshie's Cook in the beginning at the north side of Yoshie Berkeley campus. He created basic recipe, and we are still carrying it, and we just miss him. Yeah.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll Eri-san, I'll give you a text when we're coming close to the end so we can say goodbye at the end. So they will come back to say goodbye at the very end of the ceremony. So John, if you would, please cue up the bell ringing ceremony. Thank you.
仏界の妙称は隠々として関羽に響き、発祥の真因は少々として全身に徹す。 功労戦弱地に秀でて煩悩の眠りを覚ます小生万里空に響きて無明の夢を破る一気上々の功徳は等しく有名を救い三等段々の福音はたちまちの昇達走行安城影空に保有一生一教玉泉霊老たり紋章の後人霊楽円通し即根夢を覚まし凡章は有す小教
Wow. Well, thank you all for staying till the very last ring. And Eri-san and the Akibas are back.
Got it.
Yeah, Ichigo Ichie. That is our theme of the day.
We give you one too, Debra.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we will share it for New Year's at the museum. There was one question, and I have a picture of it here. Maybe I can share my screen. Hold on one second. I just had a cat on my keyboard, so I'm a little discombobulated. Where did I put it? The painted board that was just hanging below the bell. So I have a picture of it here, and we're wondering if you could tell us approximately what does it say. Here it is. Do you all see that?
So this was actually written by Miyazaki Roshi. Miyazaki Roshi, who was the abbot of the AH headquarters. And then the meaning is that life and death is the most important matter. The one wind of impermanence is always blowing. everybody be aware. Live with practice always.
Yeah, that's it.
心霊法一の中でってね、
Yeah.
修行、
Practice,
修行
practice.
僧への一番忠告の。
That's the message to those training monks, the training monks in the temple. That's you should always remember.
And is there a significance why it was hanging in that location?
And that's こに下がってるんですか？
なんで？いや、
禅寺のこのキーをパーンって鳴らす、必ず書いてあるんです、この字が。
So if you go to a Zen temple, while we do those symbols, like we hit the wood pieces to tell all those times, that's always hanging there.
All
So
the
that
Zen-
everybody remembers
all
the
the Zen
message.
temple has it.
Okay, so this is a phrase that's very traditionally found near the bell.
Yeah,
範囲って、これをこうパーンって鳴らす。
yeah. 範囲ね。It's everywhere at Zen temple.
Interesting. I didn't know about that. That's really fascinating.
パーンって鳴らすんで。
It makes sound.
その音がこういう生じ時代無常迅速、覚に覚醒慎んで法律流れっていうことを伝えてるっていう。
So that the bell of the Ulbanjing tells this message to the monks at the temple.
And so they would be ringing the bell at certain times of the day, and this would be a reminder for every minute of every day. Like Ichigo Ichie, it's a very similar kind of idea, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
はい
Let's see, are there more? There are just so many expressions of gratitude in the chat. I don't know if you're able to see that, as well as on the YouTube feed. So thank you, from the bottom of my heart for making this possible, and allowing the museum to continue this tradition despite the challenges of the pandemic. And many people were commenting that some people prefer this mode of being together for this ceremony, that it's more intimate in a way, even though we're looking at our screens. So
Thank you so much for our side to being associated with Asian Art Museum, Yoshie's restaurant, everywhere. We are very proud of. Everybody is very happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great for Yoshie's too. Appreciate.
How
are things going at Tenpyozan? Is it difficult to build this time of year?
Yes.
Yeah, we cannot bring in any
Anything.
carpenters from Japan.
Yes.
So
Just
it's
stuck
really
right
difficult to
now.
us to
You're stuck.
Sometimes you come over. Let's go together.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have 2 houses where we can stay even overnight.
And let's see, I think we put the link to Tenpyozan's website in the chat, but if my colleagues have that handy, we could put that there again. And somebody wanted to make a donation to the Asian Art Museum, and I wonder if, I'm just going to put the museum's website there. I don't know what the donate link is off the top of my head. I should have prepared that, but you should be able to find it. So there's 2 links there in the chat, the Oakland Zen Center and asianart.org. So I hope, actually, Year of the Tiger is coming up. So this should be an energetic, lively, and
Fear. Not afraid of anything.
fearless. Yeah, very, hopefully that will bring good fortune to all.
Yes, I think so. We have to be like a tiger. It's important.
Denise, thank you so much. Denise has shared the link to give.asianart.org. So we appreciate your year-end gifts to the museum. We need all the help we can get to get through these challenging times. And the Team Lab exhibition is worth coming to see. The museum's pretty big and airy, so everyone's masked inside. I know Omicron is keeping people from wanting to be in crowded spaces, but we do limit the number of people who can come to the museum at any one time. So thank you again. It's really great to see you all, and I just hope everyone stays healthy and keep your spirits up.
Thank you.
Bye.
Deborah-san, did you have any contact with Sato Sensei?
Let's follow up afterward.
Yeah, okay, all right.
183 guests, but yeah, I'd love to, if you could stay on a few minutes, we'll end the webinar. So best wishes to everybody, and